Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Janessa, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I'm going to do a two-section Q&A, so I am going to answer questions in the first section about surrogacy, and then the second section I'm going to answer questions about pregnancy. So let's get started. The first question I have for surrogacy, section 1, what is the difference between traditional versus gestational surrogate mother? So a traditional mother is someone that uses their own egg. So if I was a traditional surrogate mother, I would use my own egg and then someone else's sperm, and then they would take the baby. A gestational surrogate mother, which is what I currently am, is someone that carries someone else's egg and sperm. So it's a fertilized egg. It is not my egg, it's someone else's egg and someone else's sperm. Fertilized egg was put inside me. So these babies that I'm carrying are absolutely not mine. They have no relation to me. I am just helping grow them for their family. The second question, what is IVF? So IVF is short for in vitro fertilization, which again is pretty much what I just already described. It is an egg from either the mother or donor and sperm from either the father or a donor, and the egg becomes fertilized, put it together, fertilize it, and then they put the egg inside my uterus through a catheter and it attached on to my uterine lining. The third question, with twin surrogacy, do they allow a natural start to birth or planned induction? So I'm not sure about other people having twins, like twins of their own, but what has seemed to be what the doctor has said, and I don't think it has anything to do with surrogacy, I think it has to do with the fact that I'm carrying twins. They said they're not letting me go any longer than 38 weeks. So I think that's the same for everyone. If you've had twins, or if you're pregnant with twins and you've had a different experience, I would love to hear what you have to say. If you could leave a comment down below and tell me, if you're going farther than 38 weeks. But as far as I know, I think everyone with twins usually doesn't go farther than 38 weeks. And I will be induced or we'll have a C-section. So it's really gonna depend on how the babies are positioned. So if both babies are head down and everything looks all right and the doctor's comfortable with it, then I can have a vaginal birth and I can just be induced. If I haven't already gone into labor by then. Or if they're, both up, facing up, if they're both butt down instead of head down, then I may have to have a C-section. Or another scenario could be if they're both head down, I give birth to one, and then the other's like, ooh, there's some room in here, and then they flip themselves, and we're unable to flip them back, then I may have to get a C-section in the middle of birth. The fourth question is, are surrogate mothers allowed to provide breast milk for the babies after birth? Yes. Yes, we are, and I am super excited to pump milk for the babies when they come out. And if the parents want, I would be more than happy to wet nurse, which wet nursing just means I would breastfeed them when they're born, and like anytime I visit with them, if they have to stay local for a while, then if they wanted me to breastfeed for them, I absolutely would love to do that, but I'm also super happy with just pumping for them and delivering milk. Question number 5 for surrogacy. What type of surrogate twins are you carrying? Are you and the babies at higher risk? there are 3 types of twins that you can carry. There are the identical twins, which I believe are both in the same sac, have the same placenta. There's another type of twins, I can't really remember it all. But what I know for this pregnancy is that I am carrying di-di twins, which means dichorionic diamniotic. The twins that I'm carrying have their own amniotic sac. They are separate. They have their own placentas. So this is the safest type of pregnancy when you're carrying twins. So you don't have to worry about them getting enough nutrients because they don't share a placenta. And for me being at higher risk, I mean, when you carry twins, you're at higher risk for basically everything anyways. But so far, it's been going really well. And the last question to do with surrogacy, number 6, do they match you with someone local to you, or are the parents going to have to travel back and forth to appointments and or the birth? So I think every agency is different, but for me, they actually match me with someone in a different country. So when I have appointments, they either FaceTime me or they just trust that I will give them all the information needed. A lot of times, because they're in a different country and their time zone is much different than mine, we have a 12-hour time change from each other. So when it is 9 a.m. here, it's 9 p.m. there. So if I have an appointment at 1 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. there. So then I just send them all the information through text message and go from there. And the parents will be coming a couple weeks before I give birth, and they'll be staying here waiting for me to give birth, and they plan to be at the birth, or at the moment we're only allowed to have one person in the delivery room, so I plan for the mom to be in the room. But if that changes, then I would have both mom and dad in there. And that's all for surrogacy questions. So section 2 of the Q&A is pregnancy questions. So the first one is, number 1, were you scared when you found out you were carrying twins? No, I was not scared about being pregnant with twins, because when you become a surrogate mother, you talk about this information before you sign the contract. So you actually say, like, I am willing to have so many eggs transferred, or I'm willing to carry so many eggs. So they decided that they are going to transfer 2 eggs, which means I could have potentially have been carrying 3 babies, because if one egg split or both eggs split, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I could have potentially been carrying 3, 4. We had some things in the contract that I didn't really think I would be able to carry 4 babies. I think my body wouldn't be able to handle that. So I said 3 was the maximum amount of babies that I would carry. And I'm really happy that, you know, the eggs took and there's only 2 babies, because I'm starting to feel like I'm getting really big and I still have 10 weeks left. So if I had 3 babies in there, oh my God, that would be crazy. Second question, do you have pregnancy cravings? Not really. I'm super into eating a lot of fruit. When I was pregnant with my son, I ate a lot of fruit, so I think like that would probably be the only craving. And sometimes I crave like fizzy drinks, and I don't drink soda, so I'll get like a fizzy juice or a Spindrift, like a fizzy water. But for the most part, I haven't had any crazy strong cravings. Number 3, do you have stretch marks and do you rub lotion on your belly? Yes, I have stretch marks. I can show you right now. They're starting to get worse. I might have some up here. Oh yeah, I had some right here. So yes, I have stretch marks, and I rub a oil on my belly that it has vitamin E in it, which is really good for helping with stretch marks. Number 4, do the babies make your belly lopsided? Sometimes, depends how they're moving. Sometimes if they're moving their whole entire bodies, then yes, my stomach will get a little lopsided, but not for long periods of time. It only lasts for like a couple minutes, and then they go back to like a position where they're comfortable and they are not moving my stomach all around. Number 5, last question. Do strangers ask to rub your belly? No. I have not had any strangers ask to rub my belly. And honestly, I don't think anyone's going to ask because of COVID-19. People are keeping their distance from others. Honestly, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I don't think I ever experienced with my son someone just randomly touching my belly, but I don't think I would like that. If someone asked before COVID-19, I'd probably be like, sure, yeah. But since all this is happening and we're keeping our distance from people, nope, nobody's asked and nobody's just come up to me, and that's fine with me. I've actually only had a couple friends even touch my stomach. Not a lot of people are asking. I'll show them though, like if I'm hanging out with a friend or something, I'll be like, oh look, they're moving, and if they want to touch, they can touch, if they're comfortable with that or if I'm comfortable with that. But all right, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If you have more questions, please leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them in another Q&A. I hope you guys have the best day ever.